Welcome to another blackout message with me, Solarah. It is Monday, May the 13th, as I record this message for you guys. I hope you're all doing well. I want to take a moment to extend my sincere gratitude, my sincere and heartfelt gratitude to all of you who left such beautiful comments in the last reading. I so do appreciate all of you. I may not always get to respond to all of the comments, but I read each and every one of them sometimes as they come through. So thank you so much for your love, for your support, for your acceptance, and for loving me as I am. I really do appreciate that. It means so much. And thank you to all of you who sent me beautiful Mother's Day messages yesterday. And it's not actually Mother's Day in the UK, but because I became a mother in the US, and a lot of my original years of motherhood are formed in the US. I still feel a little bit of an emotional connection to that holiday, very complicated connection to it also because of my own history, etc. But still, nonetheless, it's there. So thank you, and a happy Mother's Day to those of you who do celebrate, and even those of you, especially those of you who struggle through the day, sending you much love. Okay, so I'm going to give you the title of the message, and then I'm going to give you my disclaimer. So the main download I want to focus in on today was I heard as I was washing dishes that something is about to shift so magnanimously for you. Something is about to shift so magnanimously for you. It's going to be like night and day. And please bear in mind that this is a collective theme right now, because this is what is happening to our earth right now. We are coming up to a point where we have the possibility of experiencing sudden and shift magnanimous changes in our world, how we live, how we do things. This is what the heightened solar flare activity is. So, of course, what happens on a collective or a macro level happens on the micro, and what happens on the micro happens on the macro. So this is a message for you if you know that you have been utilizing the power of these ascension energies to really do the internal tuning to bring forth your own shift. This isn't something that just comes because we want it or we wish it. It's something that is coming because we've put in the work to attune ourselves to be ready for it, right? So the other download that is coming through is you're about to see how far you can really go when nobody is siphoning, sacrificing, and stealing your energy, life, or your energy and life force, or is seeking to block you in any way. So you're about to see how far you really can go when you're not being obstructed on your own path. Okay, so those are the two downloads for today. So if you are feeling like there are messages in there for you, I invite you to, of course, stay. My disclaimer, I first of all welcome all to my channel. You are all welcome. Race, creed, culture, gender, sexual preference, it doesn't matter to me. You are all valuable and you are all welcome. The only beings who I say, please change the channel, exit stage left, exit stage right, is if I am not the right frequency for you. And you'll know I am not a frequential match for you if you don't like me. If there's something about me that rubs you the wrong way, if you feel more heavy than you feel lifted by my message and empowered and emboldened by my message. Okay, because we're not all here for everyone. We are all here to activate those beings who are supposed to be activated based upon where they are in their own frequential journey. And as such, I'm not here for everyone. I'm not here to activate everyone. I'm not here to push everyone into their power per se. So you need to use that discernment and go where you fit in, but please don't get any ideas of trying to shift my reality or try to change me, who I am, my message, how I deliver my message because it makes you uncomfortable. That is not my problem. if you are not in alignment with what it is I have to put out into the world, then you need to go and find spaces where there are beings already putting out things in which you are in full alignment. We're not here to change other people. That is part of the narcissistic agenda and template of the old world that kept us constantly in karmic cycles and suffering, that need to change others instead of making the internal adjustments, which sometimes include moving on somewhere else, so that we know how to find our own level of comfort without always feeling like we have to control other people's realities. Okay, so I want to take an opportunity to welcome you. Welcome if you're a new subscriber. Welcome if you just show up here and you listen, even if you don't subscribe. Welcome if you've been with me from the beginning or you've joined me somewhere along the way. Welcome if you've come from any of my other channels or from my Substack. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the ways you guys love and support me with your words, your gestures. Those of you who support me over on Substack, thank you. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to those of you who book me for services, those of you who've signed up for the Karmic Mother Recovery Group this coming Saturday. Information for that will be in the description box and comment section below, and the link will tell you exactly the setup of that group and what it is I aspire to achieve through our coming together for that time this Saturday, as well as the groups the following weekend. I have a TAROTSTROLOGY group as well as a Road Back to Wholeness small group session. So please avail yourself of these group services, which I put out in order to help the collective, will help you to connect with other like-minded beings, also to present a more affordable option to those of you who can't do one-to-one with me, but also because there's power and activations that happen when we come together as a group, when we're high-frequency beings. And so it's a beautiful way to connect, to heal, to share your story, to get guidance, and to hopefully walk away more activated in your truth and your power, and with practical guidance for how to walk out your own next steps in whatever it is you're desiring to achieve or heal. Okay, so thank you to those of you who have been showing up to those groups, and those of you who have already signed up for the upcoming ones. And like I said, all information for that is in the description box and the comment section below. Okay, so let's get into it. Something is about to shift so magnanimously for you. It will be like night and day. You're about to see how far you can go when nobody is siphoning, sacrificing, and stealing your energy or your life force or blocking you. So in other words, and this energy might be something that you are tuning into if you've been noticing in your reality that there are things that are happening that once upon a time kind of signaled fuckery, things that were designed to block your path, and once upon a time when they entered into your reality, they would stay and cause annoyance, sometimes for days, weeks, months. But these things, when they come into your reality, they are disintegrating immediately. Meaning that they are coming in, you're seeing the interference, you're seeing the fuckery attempts, but you're also seeing how the minute that you choose not to fall into any kind of despair or self-defeating narratives, and you just kind of face the energy for what it is, and you do what you have to do in order to shift it, that it instantly surrenders to your power. And that's an important thing for you to witness and to experience and to see in terms of how it assists you in growing in your own confidence and recognizing how much you have risen, how far you have come, how powerful you are, and in fact you always were. And what has changed is the energies haven't changed, the spells haven't changed, the beings that are projecting this shit towards you for the most part haven't changed. The only thing that's changed is in the equation is really you. So we can look at, the ascension energies that have assisted you in this change, but at the crux of it, it's because you've changed. You did the internal work to overcome the fears, the mental stories, the wounds that had you not only susceptible to these spells, but growing them with your own energy because of your fear, because of the stories you believed about yourself. So you should be feeling really quite proud of yourself right now, right? Because you have managed to adjust your internal settings out of the programs and narratives that other beings once upon a time had you programmed into and could therefore puppeteer and control you. And you are rising even higher. And the things that once upon a time could fully disturb and rock your world and pull you into karmic cycles that for some of you may have lasted even years. In a matter of minutes, in a matter of an hour, those things are clearing. And not only are they clearing, but sometimes you're even getting extra rewards. The extra reward might be material, but even the mere fact that you're able to see the power that you've accrued over your own reality in and of itself is a huge reward. So the message that was coming in was keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing because it's working. Now, I know sometimes because we live in a material world, we don't realize how the subtlety of how we can shift things. We don't realize that shifting the trajectory of how we're looking at something, how we are internalizing something, or even applying our energy towards doing a task repetitively. We don't see the accumulation of energy building. We don't see what we're tearing, the old energies we're tearing down as we're building something new, but rest assured it's happening. And I often like to give the analogy, especially to my son, about how if today I were to begin a new fitness regimen and I were to just, let's say, I haven't trained in forever, or I've never really exercised at all. And all of a sudden I decide every single day for 30 days, I'm going to do 20 crunches, or I'm going to do a 45-second plank every single day. I'm going to do it just for 30 days. The first day, you're not going to see any change. You might feel a lot of pain, but you're not going to see any change. You might not even see change in the first week. But if you document your journey, if you photograph, if you video, by the end of that 30 days, there will be changes in your physique. Now, the changes may be very subtle, and if you're not recording and you're not documenting, you might even fool yourself into thinking that nothing has occurred, but that's not the case. And that's the accumulation of a little bit of time and a slight shift you've made in your energy and your schedule to accommodate this change. And for some of you, this is what is happening right now. You have found new ways of applying your energy, and you're being diligent. And you're being diligent because it's an act of self-love and a sacred offering to yourself. You get it, everything in the Matrix was designed to get us to give our value, our worth, our the cream as it rose to the top of who we are. We were told to give that away to others instead of first, looking after ourselves with that value. And some of you have, or if this message is yours, you've learned the power of taking the best that you have to offer and you have to have, and first sowing it into yourself. And that has awoken in you new ways of thinking, new ways of feeling, new things that you're doing, new habits that you're forming that are actually shifting your reality magnanimously. And for some of you, you've been doing this for a few days. Some of you, it's been a few weeks, a few months, But whatever it is that you have decided and you've committed to apply your energy to for your own betterment, for your own healing, for the expression of your truth, for the expression of your power, it is working. And I'll tell you why it's working, because every time you choose to do something that either you've been told you couldn't do, you were afraid to do, or you weren't doing because you were still operating in stories that facilitate you believing that you weren't worthy, or keeping you in a low sense of self-esteem. Once you begin to do these things, then what you're actually doing is you're tearing down those energies that captivated you once before and had you stuck in those energies. So once upon a time, if you didn't believe that you could, accomplish your dream. Let's say you've been sent here to share a message, okay? And you hated the sound of your own voice. You'd been made to feel like you had nothing to say, or what you had to say isn't important, or you're not intelligent enough, or you're not articulate enough, whatever story it was that you were given, because really those things are really not important. When you have a message to give, it doesn't matter how articulate you are, etc. It's something that comes forth from the heart. It's a heart-to-heart transmission with another being, and all of those other things like being articulate and looking a certain way, those are all matrix traps that were designed to distract us and to get us focused on the wrong things. So let's say your story is you were focused on the wrong things. They were magnified in your reality due to your programming, and that was the case for all of us. That created a lie, that created a box, that created a tower that you found yourself stuck in, unable to break out of and to actually begin to speak your truth. Now, every time you, even if you're trembling, even if you're afraid, you open your mouth and you do what it is you know you were divinely sent here to do, even before you believe it's possible. You take a chance on yourself. You take a step in faith. You sow into the power of the dream that you have of your own destiny and truth. Every time you do that, you are dismantling a rock in that tower. You are removing a layer of whatever it was that had entrapped you in the lie and in the programming that told you you couldn't. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the energy of someone who's been doing something diligently, even though it's difficult, even though you're not seeing instant results, even though everything from your past programming would have once upon a time made you feel like it was hopeless. You're persevering anyway, and you're directing your faith, your hope, and your belief in your ability to shift your own reality based upon sowing into yourself, sowing into your talent, sowing into some form of your power or area in your reality where you've been made to feel powerless. Okay, so you are breaking the power of every lie that held you captive to the programs and spells of the false matrix. You are breaking the power of every lie that held you captive to the programs and spells of the false matrix. You have broken down the tower in which you were imprisoned and spellbound, and you did it brick by brick. I'm going to say that 3 times, okay? So 2 more times. You have broken down the tower in which you were imprisoned and spellbound, and you did it brick by brick. 1 more time, and this time I hopefully will get it completely right. Let it sink in. You have broken down the tower in which you were imprisoned and spellbound, and you did it brick by brick. You did that. Okay, and for some of you, the bricks you've been shifting and you've been moving, it has nothing to do with just this lifetime. These are invisible walls. Some of y'all were stuck in towers, and the towers had moats and walls. And you've been dismembering those bricks across timelines and lifetimes, but you couldn't bring the tower down. Well, it looks like you have, or you're about to. Okay? This is lifetimes of hardship, work, perseverance, and faith. that is bringing forth this shift that's going to feel magnanimous. It's going to feel sudden, but the truth of the matter is what has been going on behind the scenes energetically. There's nothing sudden about that. This is about all of the hardship you've been through, and you've persevered, and you haven't given up, and you've risen every time. That's a brick, right? That's a brick you dismantled from the tower that wanted to keep you in a cage. You are known throughout the cosmos for what you have had to overcome and achieve. Don't get it twisted. If this is your story, you are known throughout the cosmos for what you have had to overcome and achieve. So this, for me, if I'm looking at your tarot astrology, this would have to do with the themes of your 10th house, your MC very specifically. It is what you are known in the cosmos for, your MC line, as I read it. It's what you're known in the cosmos for. Some of you, as I'm speaking about tarot astrology and that kind of energy, some of you have Chirons in Taurus, Chirons in Aries. And right now you're feeling this all the more because there has been a constant narrative and theme in your life of beings trying to silence your God power. That's the Aries energy, try to silence the expression of it, your throat, trying to keep you, that's the Taurus energy, the throat chakra energy, trying to keep you from accessing your true divine resources and value internally so you couldn't rise. So some of you have that Chiron in Taurus, Chiron in Aries. Some of you also, I'm picking up the Chiron in Virgo and the Chiron in Capricorn, because that can make your material reality sometimes very tough in a myriad of ways. Contracts, the way you order and structure your life, the flow of your energy, that can all be a Chiron in Virgo, and the material contracts Chiron in Capricorn. So this doesn't negate the message for anyone else, but as I was channeling, those were the Chiron placements that I was really kind of honing in on. Not only Chiron, some of you, this will also be Lilith. So Lilith in Aries, Lilith in Taurus, Lilith in Virgo, Lilith in Capricorn. Okay, so nobody would know what you've been through from looking at you. Nobody would know what you've been through from looking at you. And again, I'm not just speaking about what it is you've been through in this lifetime. I'm talking about the many incarnations of trauma that has stayed locked in your soul because you haven't been able to find a resolution. And this is a lifetime where you're finding a resolution, right? So a lot of the times we like to judge or the false matrix had us judging beings' metal based upon what it was we could see or what it was we knew of their story. But the story, first and foremost, when we are able to connect with someone's story and make judgments based upon the hardship they've been through in that story, we'll never really be able to connect with the truth of what they went through, because that's a very intimate and internal experience. We can all be sitting in the same room going through the same thing, and based upon our own histories, personalities, emotional leanings, as well as our karmic histories, we will all internalize that experience very, very differently, right? So there are souls who in this lifetime, they've been through a lot, but they might not have seemingly been through the most. But we can't really say that because we don't know what puts a soul out of complete proper functioning within itself. We don't know the energy. We don't know. So there are beings who carry such heavy energies they've been carrying from the time they entered the planet. It had nothing to do with the circumstances that would come after, even though I'm sure the circumstances that followed were equally, if not more, heavy. So the point is, we carry these stories, we carry these emotional energies across incarnations until we process them and bring resolution. So what some beings are carrying or have been carrying in terms of baggage that they've had to overcome to get to this place is far greater than what someone else has had, the densities that another has had to overcome. And it's not based upon external experience or the stories of what they've been through and what we know about them. It's based upon the story of their souls. Okay, so nobody would know looking at you what you've had to carry. Even those closest to you may not be aware of the places your soul has had to travel for you to be where you are today. But it is known throughout the cosmos. It is seen. You've been seen, right? And again, this is the energy of someone who's been hidden. You've been hidden because you've been hidden beneath these densities, these layers that you've had to break yourself out of in order to be seen. And what this is going to translate to for some of you, the reason for this is also because of who you are in this ascension. You had to stay buried until it was time. And now it's time for you to come forth. And the light and the caliber of light you're going to shine forth onto the earth planes, maybe you yourself are not even fully ready or aware for the power of your own emanation and how it's going to shake the earth and other beings. So what you've done and who you are cosmologically, it's becoming clear on the earth planes too. And it becomes clear on the earth planes as it becomes clear in you. As you begin to realize who you are cosmologically, as you begin to attune yourself to the truth of that story, to the legacy that you carry within your cells, within your DNA, when you connect to the truth of your soul's story, instead of the false narratives that they try to feed you in the matrix to keep you stuck in that tower, that's when everything and everyone else in the world has to start seeing you as you are too. And that doesn't mean that they won't push against it, and beings who are wounded won't try to make you feel as if you're not who you know you are. But the more that again is another layer of density that you've got to push through, and you've got to stand in your truth and your honor. I just heard in your honor. And those energies will continue to fall around you, and it will become completely a moot point. It won't be able to be argued anymore who you are. It won't be able to be hidden, and it won't be able to be debated. That's the word. So the ones who judge you the most, I wrote about this on the in my Substack, but also on the community board here. So the ones who judge you the most and the loudest could never have lived through what you've lived through. The ones who judge you the most and the loudest could never live through what you've lived through. They're sitting on the sidelines, getting maybe like 0.5% of the full picture, and not even the feeling of it. And they're thinking that they can make commentary and adjustments. They can go take several fucking seats, okay? So you're about to see how far you can really go when nobody is siphoning, sacrificing, stealing your energy and life force, hiding you and blocking you. Everything that once supported your regression, suppression, and oppression must now bow down to you in your power and assist you in your progression. I'm going to say that 2 more times. Everything that once supported your regression, suppression, and oppression must now bow down to you in your power and assist you in your progression. 1 more time, because of the power of 3. Everything that once supported your regression, suppression, and oppression must now bow down to you in your power and assist you in your progression. Okay, so all of those energies, those themes that once upon a time were the things that were the boundaries and blocks that kept you out are now the allies that you carry forth with you because you've taken them back into your power and you're using them to push you forward. So this is literally like energies, but this is also the very structures and some of the systems that have been oppressing and repressing and suppressing you because of the shifts that are happening in the world. These are going to be the new structures that have to support you and help to push you forward and dig you all the way out of the very graves that they tried to leave you for dead in. You feel me? So, for example, let's say that you are one of those beings who's been silenced and shamed your whole life, and the power that you've been sent here to share on the earth plane has to do with speaking your truth, right? Those beings who try to block you at every turn actually give you wisdom to further alchemize into gold and to speak on. So you see how the very things that they tried to use that once upon a time supported that oppression now become the very things that you, because of your own power, you've alchemized into gold, and you're using it to stand in your gifts and your true divine resources and to give to the world what it is you came to give and to show up as you came to show up. So I think that's where I'm going to end. I know it's a short one, but I've got to go get ready for my homeschooling day. So something is about to shift so magnanimously for you. And you're about to see how far you can really go when nobody is siphoning, sacrificing, and stealing your energy and your life force or hiding and blocking you. So whoever this message is for today, I hope that it empowers you. I hope that it fires you up. I hope it gives you hope. I hope it gives you strength to continue to tear down whatever bricks are left that need to be chucked. I hope it helps you to connect to yourself and your soul's truth and story on such a deep level, a deeper level, that nothing and nobody outside of you can ever again knock you off of your square. Okay, I'm sending you love, joy, peace, bliss, every beautiful thing under the sun that is your birthright when you are walking in alignment with who you truly are and not what other beings are trying to make you into for their own wounded purposes. For all information on how to work with me, you can check out my website, solarah.info. There you can take a look at what it is I offer. I offer divine alignment readings, various TAROTSTROLOGY offerings, as well as one-to-one soul recovery sessions with me. If you would like to join me for this weekend's Karmic Mother Recovery Group, or next weekend's TAROTSTROLOGY group, or Road Back to Wholeness small group sessions, I will leave all of that information, the dates and the times, in the description box below with the links for more information and how to book. If you would like to join me over on Substack, please do. I'm very excited to also share with you that I have another project that I'm doing through Substack that once it gets off the ground more, I will share it with you. It's for my Spanish speakers. So yes, if you'd like to join me over on Substack, all information for doing that will be in the description box below also. I write over there on the daily motivational messages, memoir type things about what it is I'm going through or have gone through and overcome, as well as daily alchemy. And if you are a monthly and annual patron, you also get the opportunity to meet with me monthly for a group Q&A. And that's coming up this Sunday. So I'm looking forward to seeing many of my Substack patrons this coming Sunday too. So this is where I'm going to love you and say I'll see you again next time. Have a beautifully golden day. Bye.